Okay. Back once again. Bless up one and all, one and all, one and all. What is today about? Ah, well, first of all, I want to thank everybody that came out and checked out the interview that Major Key and myself did last night with Major Key, with Major Key, with uh with David Benavidez, and surprise guests after that, Rachel and Nonito Donaire showed up. Who knew? Who knew? Who knew? See, when you don't watch, you miss. Missed that last night, man. If you didn't watch it, you missed it. Nonito Donaire and Rachel Donaire showed up. So we had a legend in the making in David Benavidez and a living legend, a boxing living legend show up over there at Major Key. It was a good night, man. Good night, good night. So yeah, but today you are on the Troy Graham experience. You know, shows you the strength of the man where he could stand with another man and stand strong by himself as well. Yes, indeed. So yeah, as the post says, finding and understanding your true power on social media. Oh, on here, just as a viewer, listener, or whatever, for I don't know how long. I really lost track of time. Time goes by pretty fast. And then now I'm here entering to the so-called podcast and content specialist world, content provider world. I'm not either one of those things. At least that's not how I view myself. I'm not a podcaster, content provider. It's about to rain again, y'all, so I might have to run inside. I am a specialist. Why are you a specialist? Why do you call yourself a specialist? Sounds kind of what's so special about you? People may ask. That sounds kind of arrogant. Well, once you reach a point in your life where you understand who you are and you have that self belief, it might come off to those who aren't radiating on that same level as arrogant. But no, what I mean by specialist is that what I do, others are not doing and haven't done, and they've been here for years, you know? And how I move on social media, I don't see anybody else really doing that now. When I get lazy, I go on other people's show. What's up, cousin? Yeah, I know. I'm gonna go sit, go sit with you. Yeah. You mind if I sit in your truck? Okay, so yeah. So so yeah. So basically finding out who you are and where you are in this thing called social media is real important, man, because what I come to find out is there's a lot of group mentality on here, or tribe mentality, or however you want to call it on here. If you choose to have your own voice, you're a hater, you're this, you're that, and the third. And I'm like, really? You can't stand on your own? All right, I'm gonna sit in the truck. Yeah. And why is it so difficult to respect when others want to stand on their own and offer something other than the status quo? I don't have to believe or stand with anybody just because it's their own show. I don't have to do that. That's why God gave me a different type of voice, a different type of way to move. Respect Lisa, respect Remy. I see you. I can call I can call you Troy one, Troy Ounce, like Troy Ounce. Okay. All right, well, respect to that. But yeah, man. As you know, I've moved on so many different shows, and a lot of times, as you know, I'm labeled the troll or labeled this, that, and I just have a difference of opinion. Now, mind you, I don't actually go onto anybody's show to so-called blow it up like they say I have. It's just that if I have a difference of opinion and my voice is kind of strong and I stand on my word and I don't move, you could either take offense to that or you could just move on to the next person. Okay, really, is nothing to take offense to, and that's the truth. But there's on the post I put up this image of a man thinking. It's from a book called As a Man Thinking, and the other one is like basically weeding through the bullshit, as it says. What happens a lot of times is you come on here, like for me, it was just to pass time a lot of times before I understood the power of it. Once I started my own show and I got with someone who radiates on the same level as me, which is the good major over there, right? We radiate on the same level. Now it's not always, bosom buddies over there. We like most men, we disagree sometimes, but we always come back to the point of respect, like, hey, I don't really want to do this, but yeah, we find a way to take it back and come back to a point where, okay, you do this for me and I'll do that for you next time around. That's fine. Or it just comes down to trust my word. I've been doing this for a while. Just trust me. And sure enough, we had shows that he did not want to do. And you know what happened? They turned out great. And then on the back end, which y'all never see, he's like, I guess you were right. Yes, I was. And I've had shows where, like last night, I didn't feel like doing it. I did not feel like doing it, man. That brother was like, "You coming?" Yeah, I'll be there. I'll be there. I'll be there. You coming? I'll be there. I'll be there. I'll be there. And I showed up. And y'all couldn't tell I didn't feel like doing it, could you? That's right. Because we wear the mask that smiles and grins. Right. So I showed up and I just gave everything that I had. And that's what you have to do. And to me, it was a beautiful show last night, because how many times do you get a legend in the making and you get a surprise power couple boxing guest? Rachel and Nonita Donaire. How many times does that happen? And how many shows do you see who provide that? Because a lot of times people really go on shows, for the low hanging fruit, for the nonsense that's gonna occur, the arguments, the back and forth. It's Jerry Springer time on social media. And I'm past that right now. I don't want to do that no more. So that's why I won't go on anybody else's show. I might go in the chat and type comments, but I will not go on there live or anything like that. I refuse to. I refuse to. I'm not going to get involved in that no more. It's just not going to solve anything. Thanks, Lisa. It's just not going to solve anything. It's not really about anything. Because see, at the end of the day, what he and I, Major over there, want to do is to leave you with something. We don't do this for ourselves. Well, no. That's not entirely true. Because you have to be a bit self-involved and selfish, but you also have to be selfless to actually, at least we do, to come on here and do what we do. Because notice you don't see us all the time doing it. It's kind of like we'll come on for a period of time to disappear. That's because the spirit get tired of doing it, man. So much raga nonsense in the world that your spirit get beat down by it. But that's what it all boils down to. When I say you have to find yourself and find your true power, if everything in you is telling you don't do it, then don't do it. Some of my worst shows are when, like the shows that, like I interviewed the Robinson boys on right here on Troy Graham Experience. That's some bro. I've known that family for years. They start as a single father like myself with three sons, and all our children started out together. His kids followed through in boxing, mine did not. You know, and I keep joking with him. If my kids did follow through, I would have surpassed you by now because his kids are like 5'10" and all that. Mine is 6'6", 6'4", and 6'2", right? So anyway, his kids, his sons are now turning pro, and they're doing real good, man. They got one son, Ishmael, I believe the brother's name is. I call him Sugar Ray. Special brother, special young man. And his older brother is nice with all that length he has too. So if you get a chance, Google the Robinson boys from Baltimore. They train with Tank at Upton Gym in Baltimore, right? And Sean Robinson is their father. So yeah, that was the worst show I did because I didn't feel like doing it, and I really should have rescheduled. And it showed on Scream as well. And that's when I realized I have to start listening to myself when I don't feel like doing things because it'll come out. I mean, when you really don't feel like doing things, not when you're just tired or whatever, or you just want to be lazy for the day. I didn't want to be lazy for that day. I was simply exhausted and tired because I had a busy day. And I did not listen to myself. And what happened? Show fell flat. Then if you come back around to it, go look at this show I did with Terrence Hawkins. He's a comedian, actor, playwright, and just brother I've known for 35 years, and he does it all. You know, he's open for Paul Mooney and for oh my God, Paul Mooney and what's my brother's name? He passed away. He's the one that went on the hunger strike. Oh my God, back in the civil rights day. And I'm gonna kick myself for forgetting the brother's name. What's up, Boxing Lounge? Yeah, Paul Mooney and brother who went on a hunger strike back in the civil rights day, and he was a civil rights activist. I'm going to kick my damn self in the behind for forgetting his name. But anyway, he opened up for those two powerhouses, and those two don't play. They are legends in the business, and they work a certain way, and they work on certain way they don't play. Dick Gregory, Dick friggin' Gregory is who we opened up for. Dick Gregory and Paul Mooney. Now that was a good interview because I wanted to do that. I've been trying to get him on for a while. He came on, and he just opened up and was being himself. Y'all gotta watch that. Go back on the Troy Graham experience, or go into Troy Graham on here and hit live. Scroll down, you'll see Terrence Hawkins. The great friggin' show, man. He was telling about his character in a play, and the people in the chat room was like, damn, we can't stand you. He was like, hold up. That was the character in the play, not me. So that's a part of finding yourself and understanding your true power in this thing, man. Because at the end of the day, I said I want to touch 1 billion souls before I turn the lights off. That's not entirely true. If whatever the good Lord got planned for me while I'm on here using this voice I have, that's what's gonna happen. Now, if I touch 1 billion souls, that's great. If I touch more than that, how about that? But Major Key has what, 952 subscribers. I got 200 plus. All he needs is 48 more. So y'all, next time we do a show, put it out there, share it, subscribe it. Let's get that brother over 1,000, right? We can work on me afterwards, right? So let's get him over 1,000 and move on from there. And at the end of the day, it's really about leaving you something. Because if we do that, then that's our celebration right there. I don't come on here to break other people down to make somebody else's day. That's a weak way of doing business. I'm going to break you down in front of the group or whatever and have you be the laughing stock. And then my numbers will grow up from all the nonsense, the Jerry Springer stuff. And then my numbers will go up. But what are you leaving behind? Careful with that now. What are you leaving behind? Because what you reap is what you'll sow. So what the hell are you leaving behind? We're very mindful of that, man. When we do a show, because that's the only place I'm going to do boxing. I'm not going anywhere else other than Major Key to do boxing. I'm just not into it. And then over here, you're going to get a whole bunch of stuff over here once the ball starts rolling again. Trust me, I have some. I'm looking into to just doing some shows with folks that real interesting backgrounds, man. I don't want to give it away, but I know I grew up with a lot of interesting people, you know, who lived certain type of lives and now have turned it around 360 degrees. And they want to come on. It's just that they need to I need to get it straight. Like this Sunday, all being well, I'm going to be interviewing a brother by the name of Sean Martinborough on here. But who's Sean Martinborough? If you know anything about Luke Cage series that was on Netflix, he had a hand in that character because for years he was writing Luke Cage Noir, I believe it was titled, and he also wrote a lot for Batman, the Batman Noir series as well. So he's an artist, and he's also writes for different comic comic labels. He and I go back to elementary school. Actually, D from What's Happening went to that elementary school as well, Parkway Elementary. That school does not exist anymore. Does not exist. Thanks, Lisa, for sharing the show on Twitter. Yeah, Parkway Elementary does not exist, you know? I wish it did because that principal there, very interesting story, man. We kept thinking he was in the mafia. The dude was Italian, drove a big ass black Lincoln, sat in the dark most of it. Well, not in the dark. He had one or maybe two lights on the whole time in his office. And he spoke just like this. You back at my office again, Mr. Graham? I thought we had this discussion already that you wouldn't come back at my office. I'm like, oh, where the hell am I? This is a scene from Godfather. This is not elementary school. It's a scene from Godfather. I always thought I was going to end up in his trunk. Everybody was terrified of him, and his daughter was our was her fourth or fifth grade teacher, Miss Janet, who's our friend, whose friends were friends with me on Facebook. Miss Janet. Everybody's crush when we were in school. She looked like Miss Janet looked like Chrissy from Three's Company. If you remember Three's Company, I'm showing my age, but if you remember Three's Company, go Google Three's Company. You'll see who Chrissy was. But she wasn't dumb. She was very sharp, you know. And she's my friend on Facebook. I think she watches the show from time to time too. She'll make comments. I saw your show. Yeah, that's old Miss Janet, man. And she remembers all of us. She remembers all of us, man. Yeah. But oh man, I would love to get her on here to do an interview because she can tell you some stuff about Little Troy. Always in trouble. I'm gonna see if I get her on here, y'all, so y'all can find out a little bit more about me. Because I'm not gonna speak it. I am not gonna speak it at all. But anyway, back to the point of me even doing this thing, this live. So as time went on, I went on a lot of different lives, and people were throwing me in the back room, and I was thinking to myself, "What the hell am I here for?" But I kept coming back. It's like I was a glutton for punishment, and I didn't understand my true power. Why they were really treating me like that? They were having a good time at my expense, and then basically what I come to realize is every time I went on somebody's show, this is not me bragging or lying. Every time I went on somebody's show and they started acting ass to me, the numbers jumped up. As soon as you said my name and the group mentality came and 4 or 5 of them were coming at me and I'm a troll and I'm a this and that, that individual's numbers went up for the night. No matter how big or small, that individual's numbers went up for the day or the night. Like there's one big podcaster right now. I used to go on his show. His numbers went up when I was there. Damn, did they go up? Okay. There's a couple right now. Their numbers go up while I'm there because people always trolling again. Okay, look, yeah, watch them. Then the nonsense starts and people are firing back. And Didn't catch on to that till it was till later on though. Till later on though, didn't catch on to it. But once I did catch on to it, I was like, I need to do a show. So I said to myself, I'm not ready to do a show by myself. I did a show with somebody else. That did not work out. And he basically took credit for all the guests I booked and all that. But yet he's never booked another guest since I left. And he has all their information, so all he has to do is call them. But yet he's never booked another guest. And so I can speak freely now, because it's not coming from a place of hate. They would call me and be like, well, such and such called me and wants to book me for the show. You gonna be on the show? And I would tell them, no, I'm no longer with him. Okay, I'm canceling. I'm not going. I'm not going because I don't like his energy. You know how many times that happened? And that's a fact. That's not me making up a story. I've had that happen twice. It was 3 times maybe. But yeah, and then I floated around for a while, bitter and upset over the social media thing. Then I got with Major Key, and things have just been blossoming. Like in the year coming, God bless it, 2023, we are going to start doing some things, man. We're going to follow the same format, but we might take a little different approach to how we do things. Because at the end of the day, it's his name is on the show, so it's his show, and I'm the co-host. But on the background, we speak. He's an interactive kind of guy, so he wants you to interact when we have guests, when we don't have guests. He wants to get that boom, that feedback going. That's his thing. You know, he likes to interact. I like to interact myself, but he loves doing that, man. So the next time we put out a show and we have a guest, get your questions ready because we're not that type of show where we'll just read, say, put your questions in the chat. No, we'll put you on live with the brother, or the sister. We'll put you on live with David Benavides. We'll put you on live with Nonito Donaire. We'll put you on live with, I'm not speaking his name because I don't have him yet. I got two other ones up my sleeve, baby, and trust me, if I get them, uh, anyway, we'll put you on live with James Tony. We had Riddick Bowe on there. We had Michael Nunn, Buddy McGirt, Glenn Johnson, etc., etc., etc. All these beautiful gentlemen, man, gave us their time. Hey, trust me. Chris Bird, he cried on the show, literally. Tommy Brooks, the great Tommy Brooks, the trainer. Hey, if you got questions, man, just prepare yourself, log on, interact, because that's what the brother likes. That's why he put it out there like that. He's not like the other shows where they're like, well, we're not putting you on. We're not taking a chance on you. We'll just take your questions in the chat, which I find to be fugazi. It's just fake. What you get into this business for if you can't deal with it? If somebody makes a stupid comment, cut them the hell off, and then say to the guests, "Hey, these things happen. I'll show you. They'll understand." Look at David Benavides. He's ready, set, go for anything. You see the way we interacted with that brother. We see the way we interacted with Donaire because I didn't know he was there. I thought I was just talking to his wife, and she was like, "Mr. Graham," and she put something in the chat in the back room, like, "Mr. Graham, can you repeat what you just said?" Did not know her husband was there. What I said was, I'm a huge fan of I'm a big fan of the fighter, but I'm a huge fan of the human being that he is, because when he fought my countryman, who was Nicholas Walters, that was one hell of a fight. Yes, he lost, but how he conducted himself and how they interacted with each other, I said, I'm gonna watch this cat now from now on. I'm gonna watch him from now on because I respect the human being that he is. And immediately when I said that, that's what she's like, "Well, can you repeat that?" I said, "Sure." Didn't know he was on there. And as soon as I said it, Azuma Nelson popped in my damn head because I told him last night too. This is Donaire. You are basically the Azuma Nelson of this era. You know, he's hard. Hey, check it out. He's been a champion more than he's been a contender or a challenger his whole career. Don't take my word for it. Go see the information for yourself. Go see for yourself. But that's just the power, the power that you gotta respect, because when you say content provider, I don't. I guess that's the guest that we provide to you. Or listen to me. A lot of times I go to these shows. What content are they providing to you that 10 other people don't have already? Me personally, I truly believe I wasn't put here to be standard. I was put here to be a standard bearer. You understand me? A torch was passed to me. I have to pass that torch on. I got 3 sons. I tell them all the same thing. There's good, better, best, and great. If I got to drag you with my last breath, my dying breath, to your greatness, I will. And before I leave this world, they're going to be good men who do great things. And I've been saying that for years, and I mean it. I mean that. And so when you say content provider, you got to ask yourself, you, the fans, now ask yourself, what are they providing you with? How do you feel when you leave a lot of these shows you log on to? You're like, oh, here we go again, the Spence Crawford and the blah, 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 blah. Everybody's a CPA. Everybody's in management. Everybody's a financial coordinator. What are they leaving you with? Everybody's seen the video of Spence. Okay, well, that's that man right there. That's not my business. But his wife put it out there, so now it's everybody's business, right? That fight is over with. Like I told David Benavidez last night, the fact that their fight didn't happen put his fight with Plant, which is a done deal, by the way. It's not like they's working things out or anything like that. They contracts are signed out of his own mouth. Go look at the show. That's the first question I asked him, or second. But anyway, he says it. The contracts are signed. It's done. The fight's gonna happen in March. So ain't no, well, we're still working it out, any nonsense like that. Whoever wins this gets Mr. Alvarez, aka the Irish Mexican. So there you go, boxing. Ain't no need to work nothing out or nothing. It's done. It is done. You know? So there you have it. And come to find out, even though Plant is not a big, you would not think Plant is a big name, losing to Canelo made him the man at 168. And that is David Benavidez, biggest fight to date is Plant. And I said that to him as well. Like, this is your biggest name. Your biggest name. So there you have it, baby. There you have it. I much prefer a fight that's a done deal than a fight that's, oh, well, we have to work things out. Work out what? You either gonna fight or you're not gonna fight. It's really not that difficult, you know? But that's when you have to understand, like I said, even back to point social media and power, that you're either gonna be a follower or you're gonna step out and be a leader. I'm not gonna talk about what everybody else talks about. That no, for what? To me, that's cheap. Anybody can do that. That's hack. That's called being a hack. Just like when, okay, you go you go to a page that's known for having all these old fights, great old fights. You take them, put them on your page, and do voiceover and talk over them, and you feel like you're providing something. That's akin to a dog catching a frisbee in his mouth. That's really not. Don't take a lot of creativity to get the people that we get. Takes a lot of work. That's the work that y'all don't see us do. Chrissy Martin, all that. A lot of these people have to be found. We don't have, it's not like we have a in with a whole bunch of people. We got to put some work in. And through the grace of God, we've been good at it. There's things that Major do better than me, and I'm like, Major, I started it, you finish it. I'll go get somebody else. Boom. That's how we got David Benavidez. I started it. I said, yo, go finish it because that's your strength. I got to go get Glenn Johnson. Okay? I got to get him. We see how that worked out. We got him. He got Kelly Papa. And Kelly's a friend of the show as well. So yeah, so in the future, look for real boxing talk on Major Keys. I'm not going to expand on that. He says I'm always negotiating online. Just look for some real boxing talk, and all I can tell you is to tune in because you never know who's going to be there. You never do. You never ever know. We've had shows where one person showed up, and then next thing you know, 3, 4 other people just, hey, we saw that you were on, and we want to jump on. Hakeem Rockbard, Tommy Brooks, Adrian Bailey. Is Bailey? Yeah, Knockout King. I hope I didn't mess that brother's name up. Uh, Junior Jones, Kevin Kelly, all popped up at the same time. William Jopp, they all popped up on the same show. That was Tommy Brooks's show, and I thought it was his birthday. So I told him, hey, call in, tell the brother happy birthday. Did not know they were going to do it. They did. I called in and told the brother happy birthday. All of them, you know. And yes, funny enough, I'm still working on getting Dillian White. I want him on the show. I don't care if he got knocked out. I want him on the show. I want him to come to Umar. If he don't want to come to Umar Boxing in Baltimore, Umar Boxing will more than likely come to him. And if Umar Boxing don't come to him, As in the case of Marvin McDowell, the great Marvin McDowell, I know Tommy Brooks will come out there. Pay me. That's all it comes down to. Tommy Brooks will fly to England, and I'm telling you, 6 months with Tommy Brooks. Woo! 6 months. That's all it'll take with Tommy Brooks. Uh, Man, he will be world champion. 6 months of Marvin McDowell, he'll be world champion. If you don't believe me, I hope it happens. Dillian, I hope you're listening. You know, hope you're listening, man. Hope your brother listening because I know he's a fan of the show. I interviewed him too. So yeah, Spencer Farron, I know you're a fan of the show. I hope he's listening. Pass that information on. All of you, pass it on, pass it on, pass it on. I want Dillian White. I want him on the show. I want him. People say, well, you ain't talking about him no more since he got knocked out. Well, it's nothing to talk about, but I just want the brother on the show. You know, at the end of the day, I want Deontay Wilder on the show too. And I'm working like a slave to become a master to get him too. Because trust me, all y'all saying I can't do it, watch me do it. I'm a hater, I'm this or that. Watch me do it. I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna get him. I'm not gonna tell you how, but I'm gonna get him. And that's the power right there. That's my self belief. That's the power, and that's what drives me. It's what I love doing right here, coming on and having a real conversation. And I realized I did not put the link in the linky link in the chat here. So I'm coming, people. I'm coming. So they go to linky link if anyone want to jump on. Feel free. I'm gonna be on here for maybe till one or a little bit after one. Depends. It all depends on the mood or if a few other people float in here. We'll chat it up. But yeah, but I tell you what, I would love for you all to use the chat room or sometimes on times like this, come on as a fly. Come on and yeah, use the chat room, as a suggestion box. Type some of your thoughts in there, like, hey Troy, you ever thought about doing this? Or when you're on Major Key, like, hey Major, I got a thought for you and Troy. Type that joint in there because we'll see it. Because we're always looking in the chat. When he's talking, I'm basically looking at the chat if I'm not working on something in the background. When I'm talking, he handles the chat. So that's how way it works. But yeah, definitely type your ideas and thoughts in the chat because we need the feedback because that's how the only way we're gonna grow, honestly. Because we're not here just to say, oh look, we have 8,000 or we have whatever. No, we're here to build a foundation, leaving footprints in the sand so deep and so mean. Anybody can leave footprints in the sand, but the footprints that we're gonna lead in the sand will lead somewhere because they're meaningful. And that's what it all boils down to. So yeah, if I don't have any more folks come on by 1 o'clock, then I'll bounce and go make my fish soup. That's my lunch and dinner. Fish, vegetable soup, no noodles. Just a lot of vegetables, yeah, a lot of vegetables. Celery, green beans, corn, little round sweet peas in there, you know, tomato, onion, and I got a secret ingredient I put in there. Can we get another ring 10? Lisa, I thank you for reminding me. I have to call the brothers from Ring 10 because of my health issues. I pushed back. I said, well, I can't do everything, and so it kind of went. It fell to the wayside, and I could do that, Lisa. I could get it, but I just don't want to come on to do a show. I want to do a purposeful show, which takes a lot of work to put things together. Meaning that I have to set feelers out there to people who have done X, Y, Z in the business, people who have actually been commissioners or been in commissions before, people who know about insurance. All of that takes like one Ring 10 show took a lot of time to do. It did. It did. It did. It takes a lot because if it didn't take a lot, well, sometimes it didn't. And you saw that we were just going back and forth and wasn't going anywhere. But the ones that went somewhere, those are the ones that I put some work in for that. And that's what I want to do. I really want to do it. I really want to do the commission thing. I really want to do the insurance. The health insurance with the boxing because it's necessary. Too many of them die. Like people really don't know. You have no protection in the back of your head. That's why you can't allow anybody to hit you in the back of your head because it don't take much. You'll die. Right? Your temple, you're hitting the temple. One good hit will put you out because that's where your restart button is. You'll start. First thing that'll happen is you'll lose your balance, your vision will get blurry, and then you'll start seeing two and three, and you can't get your legs all under you. Sit the hell down after that. But in the back of the head, that's the worst place to take a hit. The worst because it can lead to coma and death, as we have seen. People think you're fronting. No, you're not. There's no. Put your hand on the back of your head. You don't have any protection. Your hardest one of the hardest things on you is the front of your head. The back part of your head is soft. You got no protection back there. And if you have a skinny neck, oh boy, like Mike Tyson always had that big 21.5-inch neck. That was his protection. People with skinny necks, they don't have no protection. That jarring back and all that we love to see when you do the uppercut, we love to see it. That's a killer for them. A lot of things can happen. Uh, Hardcore Menzor lost his mouthpiece, nearly bit his tongue in half in the damn ring. He had to stop the fight when he fought Brazil, because he would have knocked Brazil out, but he was swallowing so much blood he almost died. So he had to stop the fight, and then he ran to the hospital. Doctor said if he would have waited one more round or two, he wouldn't be walking this earth today. I got to get him on the show too. That is a good brother, very good brother, man. He's part of the reason why I have the defibrillator. Well, I was going to do it anyway, but it's a story there. There's a story there. But you know, he's another one. It's that just things we take for granted. Getting a hit in the back of the head, losing the mouthpiece, and temple shots. It's not nice, man. It's not. Trust me. But you got about 8 more minutes for me to keep running my mouth. But I don't see nobody typing in there what they think that I could improve on or anything like that, man. So just let me know. I'm open for your thoughts and all that, and I'll go from there. Will I take all of them? Not today, but I am going to rate them. But I'm just not. Will I take heed to all of them? No human being does that, do they? Not at first. Then you go through and say, "Damn, this was a good idea. I should have ran with this a while ago." Let me head back over to the house here. All right. Y'all have a good day, man. I'm gonna stick and stay for about another 6 minutes. Then I'm gonna head up out of here. All right, man. All right. So yeah, that's cousin. He on the phone. I'm on the podcast. So yeah. I wish I could turn this around real quick and show you where I'm at. Good country living out here where I'm gonna be transitioning to in a couple of months. Get out of the city. I've been in the city since I was a child. I'm getting older now. I want to slow it down a bit. But yeah. Let me see if I can. Nope. Not that. Well, yeah, there it is. That's the good old country life right there I'm talking about. See, that's the house I'm walking to. It's about an acre away from where I am. You know, country. There's old country living. Be cooking outside a lot. You got the old cars back there. Just good old country living. Yeah, I'm back. But look, y'all, I'm going to shut it down. I'm going to shut it down. What did the man say from Hancock? You had a nice run, but we all have to go. Upon us all, Troy Graham. Upon us all, you had a nice run, but I think it's time to go now. You had a nice run, but all right, man. Bless up and big up one and all. Thank you for coming out. You know. So, just thank you. I appreciate the loyalty, appreciate you listening to me rattle on about whatever I did. So now I'm gonna go in the house and make my soup, flounder. I'm gonna have some flounder in there and some shrimp and vegetables, and that's gonna hold me for the next 2 days. My seafood soup. No noodles. No noodles, baby. Just lots of vegetables. Bless up and big up one and all, and thank you. Thank you for your time. All right.